Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Spiller. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the new strategy that I just came up with or came out with. It's the G5 strategy. I taught a strategy to my team. I actually have a network that you can plug into, and it's a television program that comes on 5 days a week, and we're teaching a concept called SK5. SK5 was a technique and strategy that I came up with that allows people to take profits out of the market through a simple strategy we created. But as time passes, you can start improving on your technique and strategy. And so tonight, I'm going to show you an improved version of what I'm doing. This one only works on MetaTrader 4, and you won't be able to use it on the harmonic scanner like you did before. But what you can do while you're using the harmonic scanner is refer back and forth between this strategy and the SK5 strategy you have set up. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I do it and how you should do it as a result. Okay, now, when I start talking about my trading style, right? When I talk about my trading style is very simple, guys, and I don't want to make this deep and technical. I trade from what we call from zone to zone. That's how I trade, from zone to zone, right? And I liken it like this. Every trade has a ceiling and every trade has a floor. Every trade has a ceiling, get that? And every trade has a floor. And all price does is move between the ceiling to the floor to the ceiling to the floor. I trade from zone to zone, from ceiling to floor, from floor to ceiling, right? And I look for opportunities at these ceilings to place sales. And I look for opportunities at these floors to place buys. Make sure you get that down because that's how I trade, right? I wait for price to get to the ceiling. I'm looking for a sell. I wait for price to get to the floor. I'm looking for a buy. I trade from ceiling to floor, from floor to ceiling. Let's straighten that out. And I want you to make sure you hear that. We trade from zone to zone, right? And one zone is going to be the ceiling. The second zone is going to be the floor. Another one is, I look at it as a house, right? And as a house has ceilings and floors. And that's all I do. That's all you're going to do. When we work together, I'm going to keep it simple. The only thing I want you to do is find a ceiling. Y'all see this? And find a floor and trade it. When it gets to the ceiling, I'm looking for a what, ladies and gentlemen? A sell. When it gets to the floor, what am I looking for, ladies and gentlemen, when it gets to the floor? I make it just that simple. Right? So that's my buy opportunity. That's my sell opportunity. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? So if you're going to be a proficient trader, the first thing before you start trading, the first thing you're going to do before you start trading, number one, this is not my strategy. This is the first thing you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is look for your support, which is another term for support. I use terms that we use every day. That's going to be your floor. And then I look for resistance. Forgive my handwriting. And that's going to be the ceiling. And that's what I look for. What first thing I do is I want to find out where is my ceiling. And where is my floor? And I'm gonna watch to see how price responds in between. After I find my ceiling and my floor, the next thing I'm gonna do, after I find my ceiling and my floor, hopefully you're getting this down in your notes, I'm gonna find my trend line. After I find my support and my resistance, my ceiling and my floor, the next thing I'm doing is I'm looking for trend lines, right? I'm looking for how price is moving with the trend, right? The next thing I'm doing is I'm looking for trend lines. I'm looking to see how is price moving with this trend, right? Because when I look for trend lines, right, I look for these trend lines just like this. That's a trend line there, and price is working its way up. This could possibly be, and I can't wait to teach you how to do this, another trend line here to show the maximum strength of this uptrend move that we have right now. That's another class I'm gonna teach you on, because I'm gonna teach you how to, you see gold is kind of in this angle right here. So strategically, if gold breaks here, it'll retest here and come back. We'll talk about that at another time, but I just want to keep that. So number one, it doesn't matter what time frame, guys. This is a 1 hour chart. I don't care what time frame, but please hold your questions to the end, or type your questions in the question box that we have on there. Hold them, because I'll get distracted if you ask me a question. I'm always prone to go answer it, but it takes away from the lesson. So please hold it. I just don't ever like leaving anybody behind. All right, so now I look for trend lines. The one is to find a seat on the floor, and then I look for trend lines. I look at this. Do y'all see this trend line right here? Do you see how price, there's selling pressure here, right? And as long as that selling pressure is there, as long as that selling pressure is there, it increases my chance for this to go down. Once this selling pressure is, this trend line is broken on the selling pressure, everything changes. So number one, the first thing I do is look for ceilings and floors. Second thing I do is I look for trend lines. First thing is ceiling and floors. Next thing is trend lines. That's what I do. That's what I look for. And I'm gonna do that on every trade. Ceilings, floors. Ceilings, floors, trend lines. That's it. I don't care what anybody says. Trading is ceilings and floors and trend lines. Please write that in your notes. Ceilings, floors, trend lines. Ceilings, floors, trend lines. Ceilings, floors, trend lines. There's nothing else. That's it. I know people want to make other things price action. It's just going to move between the ceiling and the floor. So you got to find out how. You got to find out where price is. Is it at the ceiling or is it at the floor? And you make your decision on how you're going to trade it. Now, what I've done for my students, and all of my students have it, and I've even given it for free in the free signals trap. I've gave you what we call supply and demand. So you won't have to draw the ceilings and the floors. My supply and demand drew it for you. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And you'll see a trend line like this. Right? That's beautiful. Now you do not have to do it, because I gave you that for free. I gave you this for free right in the free signals chat. Isn't that something? I gave this away for free. So now my students that allow me to teach them are looking for ceilings and looking for floors. Did y'all hear that? Looking for ceilings, looking for floors. Looking for ceilings, looking for floors. All I did was add the supply and demand. Guys, you're going to be able to do that. It's not anything different. So when price gets to the ceiling, we're looking for rejection, and if it comes down to the floor. If it comes down to the floor, we're looking for rejection, and we're going to go up to the ceiling. We'll catch up on the ceiling. We're looking for rejection. We're going to go down to the floor. Right? Right? No, it's going to draw automatically for you. Guys, I'm trying to make you lazy. I'm trying to get you to do all that work. We don't draw this. Ain't nobody, none of my mentors draw nothing. I'm trying to make this easy. That's one of the problems that we had when new students got involved with this. They didn't know how to draw it. So why in the hell am I trying to make y'all draw it? It doesn't make sense to try to make you to draw this. Right? Right? Doesn't make sense. Why am I trying to make you draw this? Why not just give you an app called Supply Demand? Why not just give you this app right here called Supply Demand so that you can click it and add it to your chart? All right, does that make sense? Because that's it. That makes sense. Right? Why make it hard? Why make it hard? Okay, so now the next thing that I do, candles. I like my line chart the best. Right? I like my line chart. Right? And I'll use a line chart to express what I'm doing. But for today, I'll keep it candles because the sooner or later I'm gonna go advanced on you, and you probably won't have any candles on your chart at all. Right? Now, so supply demand. Again, as I explained to you guys, this is strictly for MetaTrader 4. I'm doing a class just on your phone by itself. So those of you on your phone, we don't use supply and demand, we use fractals. And I'll show you how to put fractals on your phone. That's not this class. Okay, so we have this, right? Supply and demand. Now, I'm gonna show you something else. So we have ceiling, we have floors. The next thing I'm gonna do, Brandy, I didn't think I was gonna give him this, but I'll give it to him. I'm gonna give you this indicator. I didn't think I was gonna do it, but I'll do it. That draws your trend lines for you. I'll do that. Now you don't have to draw trend lines anymore either. This is just for my students. I'm gonna make it so easy for my students, they don't draw trend lines anymore. So all my students, you're gonna get this indicator too. So we're done drawing trend lines. I'll give them both. At first I was just gonna give you that, but now all my students, I'll make sure that you have this. Right? And you can see that it's drawing trend lines for you. As you drop time frames, raise up time frames, you can see how it's gonna do that. Right? So now you don't have to draw trend lines anymore. I'm just so sweet. I'm just so sweet. I'm just so sweet. So now none of my students are going to draw trend lines anymore. I'll let it draw it for you. So when you come to your supply and demand, you'll see that your trend lines are already drawn, right? Do you see the wedge pattern? Now I don't have to have you drawing wedges anymore. Isn't that nice of me? Isn't it nice of me? Now you can see the wedge. How many of y'all can see this wedge pattern? How many of y'all can see this wedge pattern? How many of y'all see that wedge? Right? And now it's going to do the wedge for you. So now I'm going to spoil all of y'all and I'm going to give you this too. And what happens is it breaks the wedge, retest the wedge, gone down. Yes, I spoil y'all. Look, guys, I told you, I'm going to be the best mentor you've ever had in Forex. I'm going to be the best mentor you ever had in Forex. I'm going to make this so easy, you're going to need somebody to help you misunderstand it. Now, with this indicator, I don't use it too often. But with this indicator, I can add in special zones. I don't use it. And so when you first get it, it's going to come like this. And it's going to have these zones on here. Right? And you can use these zones where price kind of touched. And you can see it touched 3 times here. It touched 6 times here. So you'll have that on there too. I just don't use it. But, you know. Okay. Just like that. And it'll draw and you'll see the numbers, and I don't use that though. I mean, you can kind of see on other time frames if I dropped some time frames like right here, I'll know that there's a level right there. So I really don't need it. My supply and demand draws it for me. So don't worry about that. The one thing I want you to use this for, and so all my mentees, listen, we're going to take you through the class. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Guys, this is how it's going to make it easy for you. See this trend line that's just been formed on the 5-minute chart on gold? You can actually see momentum with these trend lines. You can see momentum, right? As it's binding it down, you see the momentum, and you see it being pushed down with trend lines that are popping up. Do y'all see that? Do you see the momentum as you drop down to the 5-minute chart? You can see the momentum picking up. What that's going to do is stop you from asking me, hey, should I get out? Should I get out? If this joker starts breaking these trend lines, hell yeah, get out. This is what my students are going to get. This is what my students are going to get. My students are going to get that, right? So all students who've been in for more than 7 days are going to get this, right? All my new mentees. Some of you are on my team and you know I don't mentor you, so you know you're not getting anything. But those of you who are mentored by me, being on my team don't mean I mentor you. So we're going to clear that up right now. And some of you, I'm going to look at your name and not send you anything, okay? So I want to make sure that's clear, right? I don't do that. So I don't do the de-edification thing. Now, so you're going to get the supply demand. You're going to get the automatic trend lines. Yeah, you're going to get that, right? So let's move right on. I do not want you to use these candles. We are done with candles. We're done with these. I'm going to give you this with this next strategy. All right, and I'm going to teach you what these do. Let's take this out. None. I thought I saw my boy D Staggers on here. Love that dude. So no candles now, right? Now these are the candles I'm gonna send you. These are special design candles that are Heikin-Ashi, all right? And nobody have them. I've been holding these things. I've been holding them, but I'm ready to give them out to you now. Make some changes here, bear with me. There they are. These are not your regular candles. These are not your regular candles. Don't nobody have these. And these right now. But these are not your regulars. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go over this so that you can follow along with me, okay? All right, now, remember your Heikin-Ashi candles? And I told you like flat bottom candles. I have a whole class on Heikin-Ashi candles. I'm going to give that out to you, but I'm going to have to do a class just on this one. These are not regular Heikin-Ashi candles. They're a little bit different, right? But we talked about the flat bottom is where momentum is. And then you see where you see the little wick there. That means it's running out of momentum. Well, these white sticks is another thing for what I used to call transition zones. When you see these white sticks, it's in transition. Every time you see the white sticks, market is in transition. You don't trade on white sticks. You trade on flat bottoms, flat tops for sales, and flat bottoms for buys. I want to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm saying. We trade flat tops for sells and flat bottoms for buys. Now, the way these candles are designed, secondly, is you see the white tips, right? That means it's in transition, right? This is like a no trade zone. When you see white tips, you don't trade. Okay, now look, here's the next thing. Look at these candles. They have blue stems, but they had red bodies. What do those blue stems and red bodies mean? Transition from buyers to sellers. So now when you see these candles, right? This is a blue body candle that means buyers, but this is a blue, which means buyers are still there, but sellers are coming in. Come on, isn't that hot? Come on, you know that's hot. Come on, you know that's hot. I don't know why y'all acting like y'all seen this before. You know that's hot. You know it's hot. You can see now buyers coming in. And I'm doing this for the people who don't know how to trade. I'm doing this for them because I want them to get this. This is so important to me that you get this, right? So I explained to you that when you see certain candles, so white tips, transition, right? Now look at this. Price is going down. It has these white tips. It's going down. It has these white tips. It's not really moving in momentum. I ain't even done with what I'm giving you yet. I'm just showing you this part. And y'all already blown away on this. You're already blown away. So then when you start seeing a white tip and a flat bottom come in after that white tip, price is already moving up. White tip, flat bottom. Too much sauce. Too much sauce tonight. Too much sauce tonight. Too much sauce tonight. Brandon, I think I'm messing with him. It's too much sauce. So now, let's see what we have here. 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 So we're watching it. Are y'all watching with me? Let's watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Look, 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 look. So we have that. We have that. We have that. What's up, Lucas? That's my boy Lucas in San Ann. So you're gonna get, and you're gonna start seeing. We found our ceiling. Do y'all see the ceiling right here? Found the ceiling. And then we saw price move in transition to where it moved here, and then price just moved down. And the only thing you're doing is moving your stop loss right above. You're moving your stop loss right above your flat bottoms. Do you see that? That's what I want you to do. Flat tops, rather. Moving your stop loss. You're just right above it. You're just right above it. Now now you ain't got to call and ask your leader, where do we move the stop loss? You don't have to do that now, right? You can move them, if you're scalping especially, you can move them under these flats until price kicks you out. Hey, Spiller, what do we do? Just move your stop loss. How far? Right under the flat bottom. But Spiller, do what I say. Now, that's one way you can do it if you're not using the MACD. But you can see when you have a wick at the bottom, right? From a wick at the bottom to a flat bottom, price is moving in momentum. Now, I'm going to be trading with you guys live with this as I'm trading with you now, right? We do have a trend line going down. However, look at these wicks, right? We know there's not a lot of flat tops here, so price isn't moving in momentum. And gold is kind of doing this, right? It's kind of going back and forth. All right, so that's the candle. So now we have the ceiling, we have the floor, and we're going to start examining these candles. Okay, I had to get focused because somebody just asked the question in the chat again. All right, look, so this strategy, I'm going to go over this strategy with you, right? I'm going to deal with this strategy with you, but we're going to, number one, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find our zones. Find your zone. Is it on the ceiling? Is price on the floor? If it's in the doggone middle, you have no trade. Stop it. Stop it. There's no trade in the middle. Number one, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go look for our zones. You understand where it's coming out of my mouth? First thing we're going to do is go look for the what? Zones. Now, after we find the zone, I'm moving on. After we find the zone, I'm moving on. Let's do this. I have another indicator that I'm going to give you. All right. This is the next piece that you're going to get. This is not the Holy Grail, guys. It's just a little upgrade. Now, I want you to make sure you get this because it's very important. We're going to explain this indicator. All right. This is an indicator that draws your support and resistance lines. So, right. So now you had gold come down, hit this level, hit that support, and pull back. Right. Right. So now you want to look at this structure because this is going to where your structure is going to come from. This is where your structure is going to come from. Those straight lines are structure points. Do you have that? Now, when it changes colors to yellow, it's in the sell. To green, it's in a buy. So it's in a buy because it's above structure. And we're actually getting a pullback because it hit the structure point and it's pulling back. Doesn't mean that this sell is over because the selling pressure is still there. There's still selling pressure here. And as long as that selling pressure is there, I'm going to hold on to it. Selling pressure leaves, I get out. How many of y'all, this is making sense to you now? You can look at this as support and resistance. Right? Now look at this big move on gold that you should have been in and never got out. Do you see it? Do you see that move? Do you see that move? Look, if you had my strategy, you wouldn't have gotten out of gold. You'd have wrote that joker all the way up, probably to at least right here. Look at the trend lines popping up underneath to show how price was moving in momentum. All right, so now the way we trade is I like the zone to zone, right? And I love this structure here, right? Sometimes that structure is, well, you can look for a take profit. Sometimes that structure is where you can look for a break, right? It can break there and break this trend line. Then it's coming down here. So you see a trend line right here. It could break this trend line. Look, it respected it right here. And the one thing about this indicator is it gives you how many touches that it had, right? So if you see a lot of touches on that, you know that trend line is strong. If you see it far away, right, you know that trend line is strong because that price hasn't been close to it. But look at these 3 touches. Okay, now, all right, so I want to make sure you got that. I want to make sure you understand that. So let's go over it again. Sorry, guys. I got to break down my whole chart. Forgive me if you don't like me going over this again and again. That's how I teach. All right, so now, when you're trading, we trade from what, guys? What do we trade from? From what to what? From what to what? From what? From zone to zone, right? What do we trade from? Talk to me. All right, we wait for price to get to a zone, and we wait for price to respond to that zone, and we trade out that zone. That's how we trade this, from zone to zone. I need all my students understanding. When you see this blue box, the bigger the box, the stronger the rejection. The bigger the box, the stronger the rejection. The bigger the box, the stronger the rejection. Now, here's another thing you need to understand about these supply-demand boxes. The higher the time frame, make sure you hear what I'm saying. The higher the time frame, make sure you get this. The higher the time frame, the stronger the box. So if I did this, I have the supply-demand box, and I put this line at the bottom of the supply-demand, watch this, and that's your zone. I just took it out, but this is your zone. And if you notice, look at how price responded to this zone. When it got here, it pulled out. But this is another zone. It's the whole concept for you here. Now look at this. This is a zone. That's all these supply-demand boxes are, zones. Price got in this zone. Look what happened when it got in this zone. It rejected this zone. It got in this zone. Look what happened when it got into this zone. Right? There was a rejection at that zone. Oh, Lord. Let's do this. And you're going to trade from zone to zone. Do y'all see that? Drop down to the 1 hour. It's no different. From zone, this is the zone on the 1 hour. It got in here and it came out. Got in here and it came out. Look at what it's doing down here. From zone to zone. This is a big zone, right? Because there was a big rejection here. So all you're going to do is wait for price to get up here and come down. Wait for price to get up here and go up. Wait for price to get up here and come down. You tell me what's hard about that. Tell me what's hard about that. If you know that you're waiting for price to get into this, you're not trading. You're not trading. You're not going to trade till price gets in this area. You're not going to trade till price gets in this area. That's how you're trading. This is why people mess this thing up. This is how you trade. Hello, somebody. I said, hello, somebody. Hello. All right, now we move from that. I want to make sure you got that. How many of y'all understand that now? All right, because I got new people on here. I'm not teaching for you old heads per se. You old heads already know this. Let's be patient and let's think about our new people. So now you're not drawing the zone. The zone's already drawn for you. You trade from zone to zone. Now that we understand zone to zone, right? And I came in and I put on some trend lines. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm moving to my next phase. The next indicator that I want you to get is, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. My student's going to get this, MACD. Everybody won't get this one, but my students will get it. Here's that MACD. It's a different MACD. Now, how does this MACD work? No different than the others. It's no different than the others. No different than the others. No different than the others. It's the same. But look at it. I taught you this, and my students will have access to the MACD video. But you can look at this right here. Right now, this is where we want to do some some things so you can see this well. Watch this. So let's say price got up here. You see price getting up here, and it got into this zone. What I've taught my students is that when it gets up into that zone, I don't like that white. Just something about white I can't get with it. Let's do that. All right, gray. Gray's better. All right, so now, watch this because I want you to see this. All right, so price is in this zone. And look at the MACD. Do you see when price clips under the pink line, right? And price breaks here? That's your entry point to take it at least to here, and then you could have took an exit right there when it clipped the line going up, right? So here it is. It's in the supply demand, right across here. It's coming down right here. But look, it also came down on the MACD. Now, here it is here. Price is in this zone right here. And here it is right here. Do you see it clipped? And then price went all the way up here, and it didn't clip to right here. So what you're doing is you're using a MACD along with the supply demand, right? MACD along with the supply demand to put you into these trades. Now, there's a word I want you to learn. Let's see if I can write this word. Confluence. My thing is skipping. Confluence. Confluence. It's one word, but confluence simply means confluence simply means, and I want to make sure that you understand this, it simply means that what's happening up here is being confirmed down here. I teach indicators and others don't, but I teach indicators because I like confirmations. I teach indicators because I like confirmations. That's what I like. Now, we had this zone up here. Now, look, we had the MACD coming down, but there's still some volume there. Now, I have a trend line right here that I've been looking at, and I've been watching it, right? So even though this volume is coming out, right, I took this move because volume was coming out. So I took that trade. It's risky, but I run short stop losses. That's how I don't get wiped out. When I get, put this in your notes. Put this in your notes. Let's say I have this trend line coming down like so, right? And I have this coming down like this, right? Put this in your notes. And I have it. I find the high, and I'm running a short stop loss right above that high. If it kicks me out, all I'm gonna do is reset. But it's not gonna kill me. The reason why it's not gonna kill me because I'll take that short loss because I know gold will make a big run. I'm gonna get the money back because my system works consistently. My strategy is consistent. I believe in my strategy. I don't question my strategy. And because my strategy is consistent, I know that I can go take that short loss, get back in it, and make money again. Okay? Now, let's do this. So that's my MACD. I look for it. So we can do buys and sells all day long. Let's just go through a couple of pairs and show this to you and show you some of these different setups for what you could have done. Here's the supply demand. How many of y'all see the supply demand right here? How many of y'all see the loss in volatility right here that gave you this move right here? How many of y'all saw that? Right? How many of y'all saw the supply demand right here? I tell you, I'm gonna make this so simple, you need somebody to help you misunderstand it. You see the supply demand right here? You see the MACD clip right here? You see this move up here? Do you see it? Yes or yes? And because the MACD never went down and never clipped, you never got out. Do y'all see that? Yes or yes? Do you see that? Yes or yes? Right? So that's a level of confluence that we're looking for. Let's look at a couple other pairs. I'm not done yet, guys. I'm not done yet, but I'm just giving you a couple of things to look at. All right, look at this big sell move that took place right here. right? That big trend right here. Look at that. Look at that and how beautiful it was. Now, look how many times the MACD puts you in this. 1, pull back, drop back down again, pull back, drop back down again, pull back, drop back down again, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Got into this area. I looked right here, bam, and got me out right here. Even though I may have lost some money here, I went and got my money back here. So, with all that saying, with all that being said, want to make sure you see this. As long as it's on this side of this pink line, right, that's the sellers there. When this gray comes on the other side of this pink line, right? And the only time it's going to turn gray is when it clips under the pink line. So you see this pink line, right? As soon as it clips under the pink line, it goes gray. As soon as it clips under the pink line, right, it goes above the pink line, it goes gray. I want to make sure that you see this. I want to make sure that you see this. But look at how many entries. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a bad one. 5. 6 trades that you made money on, right? 1 bad one. But what if you never got out? What if you just took these as entry points because they hit the trend line? What happens when I teach you how to do that? So that's just the MACD. All right, so I went over to MACD now. You want to see the MACD? Let's look at a couple of more other currency pairs. See if we can find some more. CAD-JPY. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this nectar. Oh, Lord. Look at that sweet nectar. Right in this zone. You just waited. All you did was wait to get to the zone. And when it got to the zone, look at what you did. So, guys, what was our step number 1? Our step number 1 was to get into the trend, let price get in a zone. You wanted to be in a zone. That was number 1. All right, so I'm gonna write that down. Y'all, hopefully you wrote that down on number 1. So number 1, we look for the zone. Number 2, we go to the MACD. Zone trend lines, I'm sorry. This is when you're looking at your chart. No, this is G5 I'm working on. So I'm on G5 right now. This is G5. I'm teaching you G5 right now. So find the zone. Find the zone. Number 2, get to the MACD. Let the MACD start speaking to you. Let the MACD talk to you. Let it speak to you. Let it talk to you. It has something it wants to say. So we at the MACD. And so I'm showing you with the MACD, once you've done that, once you find your zone, once you find the MACD, right? I'm not saying that you're not gonna have fake outs. Let me show you this. You gotta see this because this is where people are gonna mess up. Dr. Spiller, look, it went gray, but it went back up on me. And it knocked me back out. And then it went gray, and then it knocked me back out. And then it went gray, and it finally went down, but then it came in and knocked me back out again. That's why there's a system to what we're doing. There's a system to what we're doing. Some of these people are already killing this thing. What's the system, Dr. Spiller? Glad you asked. Glad you asked. I look for a break in structure. I like structure breaks. because structure breaks are going to give me high probability trades. Are you seeing this? This is EuroCAD, Euro AUD, Euro NZD, structure breaks, right? So my high probability trade setup coming out of this, when it breaks this structure, is a sale. This long line here, right? Right? So it needs to break some structure. And listen, just because you're on an hour chart, here's something, and I don't want to go too fast. Remember, guys, I'm going over this with you, but I'm going to be trading it with you. And we're going to be trading together over the next 90 days. All of my mentees, not, if you're not a mentee, I'm not talking to you, but all my mentees, right? Once you've been qualified and approved to be in my mentorship, because just because you have signed up with somebody else don't mean you qualify for this. And I'm just being extremely transparent and unapologetic. All right. I'm gonna be trading for 90 days with you guys with this. And in those 90 days, we'll have some wins, we'll have some losses, but we'll have more wins than losses. Right? Now look at this. Look at these, the Heikin-Ashi candles. Right? Some of these pairs, and I'm going to teach you a tip right now. If the pair don't look right on that time frame, jump to another high time frame until it starts cleaning up. So you can go to the minute, and this is some good moves on the minute chart with this thing. You can find a good time frame to trade these pairs on. You don't want to trade the time frame where there's a lot of chop. You don't want a lot of chop. You want to go to the time frame, right, on that currency pair that doesn't have a lot of chop to it, but has a lot of good trends to it. You want to find it, and you want to trade that time frame for that pair. That was worth you getting on here today. That was worth you getting on here today, so I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it. Every currency pair has a, listen, every currency pair has a perfect time frame for your strategy. Find the time frame where there's not a lot of chop. And what I mean by chop, that means the price is doing this. It's going up and down and up and down and up and no. You want clean moves. Find the time frame that gives you clean moves. Every currency pair that was worth y'all getting on here today has a time frame where the moves are cleaner. The higher the time frame, the better. Sometimes you can go to a 15-minute chart and find a good time frame that doesn't have a lot of chop. That was a good run right here. Look at that run right there. Lord, that was good. That was a good, on a 15-minute time frame, that was a 60 pip right out of that zone. That thing came out 60 pips right out of that zone. Every currency pair has a good time frame that'll work with your strategy. Are y'all understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right? You don't want the ones that's just chopping, and constantly hitting your stop loss. Find the one that has the best time frame and stay within it. And adjust your lot size for that time frame. So we went over this, right? We went over this. Now, there's a moving average I want you to put on your chart. There's only going to be one. It's the king of all moving averages, and that's the 200 moving average. It's the king. 200 simple. It's the king of all moving averages. 200 simple. It's the king of all moving averages. 200 simple. It's the king. Now, why am I looking for the king? Because the king allows me to trade with the trend. The king allows me to trade with the trend. So I know when I'm above my trend, my greatest moves are going to be in buys. When I'm below my trend, my greatest moves are going to be in sales. Is that making sense? Above my trend, buys. Below my trend, sales. I want to make sure that's making sense. Right? So I have my trend line set. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take every sell because my sales are going to be my major moves. My sales, and every buy is just a retracement. So that's how it looks. Do y'all see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? I just want to make your chart clean. So now that you know this is your trend line, now that you have these zones, all right, it gets into the zone. This is a retracement. It's above it. So your lot size is lower. I'm going to teach you this when we're working together. Your lot size is lower here because this is a retracement. You don't put the same lot size as you put when you're going with the trend. You don't put the same lot size you put when you're going with the trend. Retracements are dangerous. So retracements should get a lower lot size. Right? Now, make sure you get that. So here's the zone, here's the zone, here's the zone. Look at that. Right? It comes down, here's another zone, and it comes down. Right? And watch this. See how this line changes colors? I like that for you guys. So it's going to weed out. Like if you see this green line, you know that you're supposed to be buying. Right? And if you're going to take a sale, it's a retracement, it's a low lot size. Watch this now, unless it crosses the 200, and you can start ramping up at the 200. There's another indicator I'm going to give you. Y'all ready for this next indicator? This one is a really good one. I'm going to show you how to set this one up. Uh-oh, it's about to get gooder and gooder. I can't believe I just yawned like that on the phone. Let me do this thing. All right. Here it is. This is a volume indicator. This is a volume indicator. Let's see if you can pick it apart without me saying anything. Well, let's do this. Let's do this so we can all be on the same page with the colors. I'm going to turn this to darker blue. I'm going to turn this to darker blue. That's my OCD. Do not bother me about that. Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Let's look at some sell signals and buy signals, right? So it's in the zone. We have volume decreasing, right? But look at the volume. You want to trade when this red line is above this white line. That white line is your gauge. When price is below that white line, there's like literally no volume in that. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Now look, we got the MACD here going down. We got price here going down, right? And you can see volume coming in and volume coming out, volume coming in, volume coming out. With that, you see the volume coming in, volume coming out. Do y'all see that? It's freaking ridiculous, man. All right, now, look, here's a retracement right here, right? Right, look at that volume on that retracement. Look at this over here. Come over here. Come. Watch this. It's in supply. It's in the zone, right? It's coming down. And there's the volume. On SK5, we used to have the RMM. I don't use that anymore. I just use this volume indicator. Okay. All right. See if I'm missing anything that I want to give y'all with this new strategy. All right, let's go over the strategy. And this will be recorded. This is recorded. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to find my zone. After I find my zone, I want to go to my MACD. Right? After I go to my MACD, number 3, I want to look for structure. Where's price in relation to structure? Did it cross the line? Did it cross the line? Right? So, structure. Number 4, where's the volume? And number 5, do I have a flat top candle for a sell or a flat bottom candle for a buy? That's how we do it. Now, that's what we're going to do. That's the G5. Right now, here's the thing I need you to understand. Here's the thing I need you to understand. We're going to incorporate other things like, is there divergence? Right, this is something else. Number 1, this is something that we're going to be looking for. Is it a divergent? Which means it's a move of weakness. Is there divergence in that? Right? We're going to look to see if there's divergence in price. Now, that can set us up for a failure. Right? And so we're going to look for that. Number 5 is the candle. For a flat top, that's a sell candle. For a flat bottom, that's a buy candle. We're going to make sure that price is not in transition with white tips. We're going to be watching out for transition with white tips. Those white tips mean indecision. We're going to look for those. Making sense? On that. Right, when we're trading together. Now, there is one other indicator that I like, and I'm going to do a separate training on that altogether. Is the ADX indicator. It's not like the rest because you won't have it on your chart like you normally do. There's a way that I'm going to teach so you can modify. It looks something like this. Go here. I'm going to show you how to, we're actually going to have a class to set this up on MetaTrader 4. So stay connected. We take it and I drag the ADX here. But when I put my ADX on, I need you to understand something. I have no levels. I have no colors. I have no color on my parameters because I need none of that. I click OK. And the ADX is right here. You can't see it necessarily, but I'm going to teach a class just on that coming up. And your ADX is mixed in with your MACD. And you want those numbers. Your first number is your ADX number. You want always your ADX number to be over 25. So this first number here, you want it to be over 25. Right? Always. Now I'm going to give you what a buy looks like with the ADX. Right? So it has to be over 25. And it's over 25. But if it's a buy, what it says plus DI needs to be over 25. This is for your buy. And the negative DI, I would like for it to be under 10. This is your buy opportunity, right? So your buy opportunity is set up. Or guys, do not feel like you're getting lost. I'm going to be trading with you on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays like this. And I'm going to make sure that all those things are aligned and congruent so we can do it together. I told you just a 90-day program. And when I do this, you're going to be able to recognize it so fast because we're all going to be looking at the same thing. You're going to catch it. For a sell, For a sale, you want, the first thing is for your line here, your ADX to be over 25. And then for a sale, it's this. You want your plus DI to be under -10. I mean, under 10, I'm sorry. It needs to be under 10, not -10. It needs to be under 10. And your negative DI, right? You want it over 25. Just like that. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you'll have the times and we'll put them out there. But for right now, do y'all catch that? So you know what your plus DI is, your negative DI. I'm getting ready to do a training just for people. What was I saying? Somebody wrote me a question. So on the mentorship training, we're just going to make sure that y'all have everything you need to be able to trade this effectively with me. One of the things I'm doing now, I'll be doing a lot more scalping, right? I'll be trading on the 5, 10, and 15-minute charts. We're going to be doing a lot more scalping, making a lot more money, making it faster as we're getting this done. So we're going to be doing scalping on those Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. We're going to be taking trades from the 15-minute charts and showing you how to get that done. So let me pause. I went over those five steps. I may make it G6. Yeah, G6. I think I'll make it G6, not G5. G6. So now what I'm going to do is take questions. I'm going to stop the recording for me to take these questions because I don't need my recording to be longer than what it already is. But I'm going to take every question. I'm not going to skip over what anybody has to ask me.